Huawei's Pura X, this wide foldable phone, is definitely the product I wanted to own most this year. Its design truly stands out in a sea of homogeneous smartphones. After 1 year from bought it, I feel like I haven't really seen others discuss these specific aspects of the experience. It might not be incredibly detailed, but it is entirely my subjective takeaway from using it again over the past week or so. I still have to start with the design. My unit is glossy black, and it truly exudes a premium feel, but humans inevitably have natural oils and sweat on their hands. After you hold it and spin it around a few times, it doesn't look as pretty anymore. The cover screen is a square display, which is indeed a different approach from mainstream compact flip phones, but commonly used apps can basically still run on it. There's a camera right next to the cover screen, so if you take selfies using it, the image quality is absolutely fantastic, and you can directly record selfie videos as well. However, when launched from the cover screen, video recording is capped at 1080p at 30 FPS. If you want 4K at 60 FPS, you have to open the inner screen and turn on the dual screen mode. The dual screen mode also features a bunch of emojis. While I'm not sure why they did it that way, it's pretty fun. When folded, flipping it open with one hand actually takes quite a bit of effort, though closing it is fine. Ultimately, this wide foldable form factor is still a variation of a vertical flip phone, and for most of the day, it's actually used in its unfolded state. The clever thing about the Pura X is that its unfolded size is basically equivalent to a 6.3-inch device, so despite its surprisingly wide body, a one-handed grip is still manageable. However, it definitely takes some effort, and there's a chance it might slip from your hands if you use it while lying down. As for the button layout on the Pura X, I still can't accept it after using it for over a week. When unfolded, the power button is on the top and the volume rocker is on the side. It's really terrible. You almost never want to use the fingerprint sensor when making payments. Plus, because the screen orientation changes when folded, the relative positions of the power and volume buttons are swapped. I've lost count of how many times I accidentally pressed the volume button thinking it was the power button when using the cover screen. Huawei's knuckle tap screenshot is a highly convenient feature, but generally during one-hand use, I still prefer using the power and volume button combo to take screenshots. Obviously, this habit cannot be maintained on the Pura X. You've probably already heard a ton about the pros of the Pura X's 16:10 screen. Watching videos is more comfortable than on a standard slab phone, and reading novels feels much more like reading a real book. After real-world use, these points are totally accurate. It genuinely is more comfortable in these scenarios. Because of the wider horizontal aspect ratio, watching short videos feels fully immersive and much more satisfying. When scrolling through image content and zooming in, the viewing experience is also more comfortable. You could say that the advantage of this 16:10 ratio is something you can intuitively feel the moment you get your hands on it. On this screen, I even tried using a full 26-key keyboard. With the larger keys, typing is indeed much more comfortable, but the lack of physical feedback compared to an actual keyboard meant I ultimately switched back to a 9-key layout. Opening documents on the Pura X is also more comfortable than on a standard phone. While it might not rival a book-style foldable, the field of view is significantly better. And with this aspect ratio, it won't stretch out your pockets. When folded, holding it feels about the same size as an iPhone 4. But all the advantages of this 16:10 ratio also give rise to the shortcomings of the device. For example, when browsing web pages, bugs aside, you'll feel cramped when trying to navigate and read. I've already set the display size to the minimum, but it still feels that way. Additionally, while short videos are fully immersive, there are many times that the creator's info blocks the subtitles. When opening the camera in the unfolded state and want to shoot horizontally with one hand, its width is extremely uncomfortable to hold. Another example is the cover screen interface. Although it runs native HarmonyOS, apps actually don't display perfectly on it. For example, TikTok only shows the recommendations and following pages. If you want to reply to direct messages, you have to exit back out to enter them. Moreover, the hinge on my Pura X makes a weird noise when rotating. While this doesn't affect its usability and it won't break, it does slightly lower its perceived quality. So the pros and cons of this phone's form factor go hand in hand. It all depends on your preference. I feel like if they could just tweak the display density a bit more, I'd be completely fine with it. Next, I want to talk about performance and HarmonyOS 6 together. The Pura X is equipped with the Kirin 9020 chip. If I remember correctly, this chip isn't quite at the level of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but surprisingly, under HarmonyOS 6, I almost never felt like I was using an outdated chip over the past week. Even the animation effects are better than those on some mainstream flagships. Also, my 12GB RAM plus 512GB storage model didn't lag like my Android phones do, though I'd still recommend the 16GB version, as the 12GB one occasionally kills background apps. Another thing that surprised me about HarmonyOS 6 is that the app optimization is quite good. Plus, for native HarmonyOS apps, pretty much everything on my home screen is covered, except for NetEase-related apps. However, there is indeed a lack of features within apps. For example, on video platforms, creator-related functions are practically practically zero. Bilibili doesn't even have a creator center. TikTok does have a creator center, but features like the product showcase and streamer hub are incomplete. But stepping away from creator tools, I think the missing features are mostly harmless. For example, TikTok chats don't have bubble skins, but basic conversations, scrolling through videos, and even shopping are all fine. On Bilibili, you can't pinch to zoom and there's no option to fill the screen, but the core need of watching videos works perfectly. On WeChat, extension features are definitely lacking, but regular chatting and similar tasks are no problem. The only thing that somewhat bothers me is the lack of frequently used emojis section. I have to search for them every single time. So honestly, I believe that today, HarmonyOS 6 can already meet the usage needs of the average consumer. You no longer need to worry too much about the OS when buying a phone. Even if a specific app really isn't fully optimized, using it temporarily on the foldable screen still works. But if you like to tinker, play a lot of heavy games, or if you're a creator relying on just one smartphone device, then at this stage, Huawei's HarmonyOS 6 is not a good choice. Oh right, speaking of gaming, this is where raw performance comes in. Running Honor of Kings at 120 frames per second on the Kirin 9020 isn't a big issue, but for highly demanding games like Genshin Impact, it really falls short. You can see that Huawei or MiHoYo has put in a lot of effort. There are obvious signs of frame interpolation, and the render distance has been adjusted, but it still doesn't play smoothly. And honestly, I don't think the Pura X's battery life is good enough to let you game comfortably. With a 4720 mAh battery, it was left with 53% in last week's battery test. I haven't seen such a low score in nearly a year, to be honest. Under daily use with 5G and 95% Wi-Fi, the screen on time is only about 6 hours. If you strictly use 5G, the battery drains even faster. As for charging, at 66 watts, a full charge takes 47 minutes. However, it does support wireless charging. Finally, let's briefly touch on the cameras. If you place the Pura X's camera specs within the compact foldable category, it's probably the strongest one out there. It's fully equipped with main, telephoto, and ultra-wide cameras, and enhanced by the red maple true color sensor, the colors it captures are indeed fantastic. Plus, the overall look of the photos is great, but its size is limited after all, so if you compare it to a standard slab phone focused on photography, it definitely won't beat them. Additionally, I feel the haptic motor on the Pura X is probably the best one I've ever used on a Huawei product. Although it's likely small in size, it's tuned very well. There's no springy feeling or lingering vibrations, making typing quite comfortable. To sum it up, after using the Pura X extensively, I actually think it sits right between a standard foldable and a slab phone. It can display more content like a standard foldable while still retaining one-handed usability. The Pura X, it indeed has a highly unique screen aspect ratio and many advantages brought by it. Yet when you actually own it, you might realize it's perhaps not the flawlessly perfect device you imagine. Its strengths might just be where its weaknesses are. The Pura X might not be the most perfect phone out there, but right now I really like its proportions. If you really like it, just bravely give it a try. If 1 or 2 months salary isn't enough, surely you can manage it in a year, right? Leaving no regrets is the most important part of it all. Finally, the Pura X Max is actually here. Huawei hasn't continued the approach of the first generation Pura X. Instead, it's transitioned to an entirely new form factor where the cover screen is 16:10 and it unfolds into a small tablet. Although I still love the compact body of the Pura X when folded, I have to admit that the revamped Pura X Max in terms of product rationality, reliability, and practicality is actually better than the Pura X. However, I've heard that the Pura X will be kept around and will get new color options. Friends who like this size and folding mechanism can still go ahead and try it. The Kirin 9020 paired with HarmonyOS 6 today makes for a quite smooth experience.